This is a discussion about scaling, and I wanted to put it out to other people who've encountered this. And I wanted to talk about how scaling works. And I wanted to use Shiloh as an example because in this battle of Shiloh, I found something really interesting. I'm playing on major general difficulty. I think that's called legendary. It's not legendary Iron Man, but it's legendary difficulty. And what happened was on day two, the AI comes in with 34,344 troops and 104 guns. And that's unusual. On normal difficulty, scaling up the army as high as I can scale it up, the numbers are much lower than that. On legendary, you expect 30 to 50% more troops, but you don't expect a jump from what should be about 10,000 to 34,000. Then I went back and I watched Atheist's playthrough, and I saw that he was able to face on day two about 11 or 12,000, which is normal. 34,000 was a surprise. And I thought maybe there'll be a hodgepodge of stuff from day one. Well, on day one, I'd wiped out all of the units except two, and they were pretty battered. So there should have been 2,000 men or less from day one coming into day two. And then I went back to the video and I made sure that all of the units I encountered were indeed shattered. So they were all destroyed. There were only two that survived and a cav unit that was hiding somewhere. So it wasn't like a bunch of guys survived from day one. And when the units came in on day two, they were not remnants of a shattered army. These were, well, it was an army. It looked like day one. It looked like the day one army came in. So is this a scaling event, or do I just have a bug or a broken save, or something happened that is absolutely scripted? The army that I brought in was 41,000, over 41,000. Now, my troops on day one were 22,000. And on day two, I lost 6,000 men on day one. I brought in 16,500. That means that Buell brought in 24 to 25,000 on day two. So my army's 41, his army is 34. The bad news for Buell is he was badly outnumbered. So Buell took a real beating. On day two, by the way, I only lost 1,460 men. Buell took almost all the losses. And the AI was wiped out. But the thing that's really a surprise is how big that force was. I really expected 10 to 12,000 in the AI force, not 34,000 men and 104 guns. So going back to day one, the minimum, and I'm using all the lessons that Atheist has taught in his videos about scaling. So I built ballast units, which he teaches, and I kept the average size of my units small. I was still able to bring all the men and guns that I had, pretty much. And so my army on the first day, well, let me say his army on the first day, the AI army, the minimum cap is 50,884 and 160 guns. So because of like last minute troops I wanted to bring, it was like 60 men higher. The AI was 50,954 and 160 guns. My force on day one was a total of 38,520. So of that, my troops were 22,554. Buell's contribution in reinforcements was 16,000. So the day one difference was, I'm at 38,000 plus, and he's at almost 51,000. Now, that's not too bad. I have 58 guns. He has 160. Also not bad. And I end up, like I said, wiping out his force on day one at a cost of 7,000 to my army, to my core army, not to Buell. So, and then I went to the screen, and I expected to see 10 to 12,000, and the enemy brought 34,000. I thought at that point that the game had bugged out. Is it a bug out? Is it a scaling event? Is it a scripted event that if you're way beyond a certain amount, there's a scripted event that happens? The other thing that I think is that we're trying to figure out if you can ramp up your army between phases and it has any effect on scaling, the consensus seems to be that after the initial phase and the start of the battle, the AI does not scale up more to you. What this tells me is the AI might scale up more to you if you add raw recruits in during in between phases. So, and it might be just some battles that happens, and it might be other battles there's no scaling event at all, and you could add 50,000 men and it would do nothing. It's so what do you guys think about that? And like I said, it might just be a bug. I started this playthrough with a save from a previous game of Philippi after the Battle of Philippi because I don't want to play that battle ever again. And so it was an earlier version, and I'm playing on the latest version. So maybe the game bugged out. Maybe that it could be that there's some problem. It's a botched save or it's some sort of a problem. So what do you guys think? Have you ever gone into Philippi on major general difficulty with day 2, 41,000 men? Was there a scripted event? What size enemy force do you usually face? What do you think is the cause? After this, I'm just going to attach the battle and you can see everything that happens. You can see the AI get wiped out on day 1. I'm really happy with day 1, how it turned out. And then everything was going great. And even when I saw the screen that told me I was going to face 34,000, my first thought was, well, it's got to be a mistake. And then I clearly saw that it was a much, much bigger, more powerful army than I expected. Not a mistake. It was almost like facing the AI army at the beginning of day 1 all over again. And my second thought was the game is bugged. But I played it out anyway, and my troops ended up having, well, the best results I've ever seen in any battle. I had officers that jumped 2 levels. I had captains that came out lieutenant colonels. I had majors that came out full colonels. My units gained more efficiency than I've ever seen, ever experienced. It was, I hope the game's not bugged out because I'm loving this playthrough. The stuff I've learned from Spectrum and ATIUS is really helping me play the best campaign I've ever played and have the most fun I've ever had playing Ultimate General Civil War. So I hope it's not bugged out. But if you can explain, you have some idea why this happened and what this means about playing the campaign and what this adds to our understanding of scaling, please pitch in with your ideas and your thoughts. And, ATIUS is out there running endless tests for the rest of us so that we can all learn, how the system works and how we can stay under the scaling system and not get crushed by oversized enemy armies. So thanks in advance, and I'll attach the raw video of the battle. Probably in a couple parts, and you can take a look at it if you're interested. It'll either be attached to this video or it will be in a separate video. I haven't decided yet, but you can leave comments on that too. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I look forward to reading your comments.